Hi, it's Chris Adams. I'm here to talk about how the perfect fourths tuning helps you see how the major scale changes one note at a time as you shift between the modes going around the cycle of fifths or fourths. So the cycle of fourths downward is the same as the cycle of fifths upward. Take my word for it, it's beyond the scope of what I'm trying to talk about. I just want to show the relationships on the guitar. We're in perfect fourths tuning on this channel. I'm tuning this guitar with the normally B and E strings tuned a half step up, so P4 top up. So we tune at the fifth fret all the way across. Okay, so that's the tuning, perfect fourth top up. If you want to tune up, I'm going to put a link to the major scale, little information in the PDF below. And we're still going to work with our three patterns. You can see our three patterns as they're kind of morphing. And you can also see, related to what we're talking about, is as you're going from, in this case, this diagram is C major. These are, the notes are changing. Well, it's not really here. That's what I want to show you. So anyway, this is something, sorry. This is the major scale that we're looking at. But it's not what I really want to get into. Kind of left over, to be honest. But we're going to look at 12 fret area to cover all 12 notes in the scale. And we're going to move from the high string, E, F. So we're going to use the F major scale as our starting point. And we're going to go through each mode, and you'll see how they change and why they change as you go around the circle of fifths. So the circle of fifths, or circle of fourths, if you start at the tonic note and go clockwise, you're going to change by fifths. Notice that for the 4 chord, we go backwards on the circle of fifths. So table that, but that's kind of interesting. So we're in the key of F here. So we're going to be here. So here's F major. So to go around the circle of fifths, we go F, C, G, D, A, whoops, F, C, G, D, A, E, F. But we missed something. We missed the B flat. So for the B flat is F, and the B flat is our 4 chord. Whoops. So around the circle of fifths, the B flat is actually, whoops, sorry, F major again. We actually can go backwards a fifth. And we get at our B flat note in our F major scale. So hopefully this will get a little bit more clear as we progress. So as we shift through the modes, each mode shape is going to change by a single note. So again, we kind of start with the B flat Lydian to kind of like, it's like a start before the major, so that in other ideas, so the main difference, if you look at the shapes and just think about the black notes on the fingerboard. So here's the F, and here's the B flat Lydian. And here's the B flat major. And Lydian, we just take the E flat and go up to Lydian. So that raised fourth gives us the Lydian sound, and in other videos we'll explore that a little bit more. But so this is kind of like a head start to complete the circle of fifths well. You start on B flat in the 4 position. whoops. Then go a fifth up to F. I'm going to play it here. So we made the fourth went from a sharp fourth to a natural fourth. Now we're going to go to C Mixolydian. So the change here is from the B natural to the B flat. Then we're going to move to the G Dorian. So the G Dorian has that B flat in it. It's over here. Whoops. Or you could play it on the three notes on the same string. Then we go to the D Aeolian and the A Phrygian and then the E Locrian and the reason why it's way beyond the scope of what I want to show you today, but when you're on the E, if we move a fifth away from E, we're on B natural, and all of a sudden, wow, we're out of the scale. So we've done all our stuff here. We've gone to A Phrygian, E Locrian, and then all of a sudden we're in another planet. But that's part of like this kind of like slightly asymmetrical scale pattern is part of what makes Western music sound the way it does, and how we can have things sound like they started somewhere and went somewhere else because the notes don't quite fit because of the tritone. So kind of interesting stuff that I'm still exploring on my own. So anyway, this is the overwhelming version of the whole thing, where over here we have it shown this way, and over here we have it matching the fingerboard as we go. So hopefully this will be more clear, so you can study these more on your own and see some of the different patterns that are coming through. But the ones I want to show you the most is where the changes are going to happen. So here's our tritones again. So starting with the E and the B flat. So that's here, and then a tritone up from there, it happens again. And here's where the notes are going to start shifting as we go down the neck. And another thing to notice is if we're playing in F major up here, so the diagram that's right there, so this is the whole thing. These tritone notes, which is where everything changes, if we take those out, we get the major pentatonic scale. So that's another kind of interesting fact there. So we're going to start on the top string, which is F, and we're going to move down the neck, and we're going to see how the pattern changes. So here's the pattern here. And here on the one string, so we have whole step pattern, and then whole step pattern again. So that's our major scale on one string. You can see how those notes go. And then when we shift to the Mixolydian, which is up a fifth or down a fourth, you can see where that change happens right here. So here's our major, and here's our Mixolydian. So you can see by the shape, we have the seventh is not a major seventh, it's a flat seventh. Only one change. So here's the C Mixolydian. Here's the F major. And here's how they look next to each other on the fingerboard. So I'm going to play the major scale down, and I'm going to play the Mixolydian scale down. The only change is right here. So we have the changes. Kind of neat, right? All fours. Okay, cool pattern. Next, so these two changed. Now next time, this part here is going to be the same as we get into Dorian, and we're going to change here. We're going to change at this tritone down here. So we're going to go, instead of a major third, we've had a major third here on the major scale, and we had a major third on the Mixolydian, and now we're going to have a minor third on the Dorian scale, but we still have the major six. So here we go again. Here we go with the major six. So and the difference is here. Whoops, sorry, here. So we can play our fourths from the Mixolydian to the Dorian like this. Or here. Just tune up a little more, but not going to. So next, we're going to go. We're going to keep a minor third here. We're actually going to keep the minor third going forward. So if you look at the so because we're missing a string to complete all 7 notes, we don't have the 7th string. We have two majors, the 1 chord and the 5 chord, and then we're going to minor chords for the 2 chord, the 6 chord, and the what's next, 3 chord, and then we're on our Locrian. We get there, so we'll keep going. We'll see that. So the D Aeolian, we're here. So we're F C G D. Okay. So for the Aeolian, we're back up to moving up here. So we're going from the major 6 that we've had here. We've had the major 6 here, and we've had the major 6 in the major scale, the Mixolydian, and the Dorian. That interval, I'm sorry, that's a minor third interval. It's a minor third interval when you play it up, but it's a major 6 when you play it down from the top. Music theory can be kind of confusing. But now that we're on the Aeolian, the minor, we're moving from to this. Okay, so here's the Aeolian coming down. And going up. And our change was from the is here. So if we want to play on our fourths, different key. Sorry. So D Aeolian. So we had that one change there. Next, we're going to move and see the change down here. So the difference between Aeolian and Phrygian is the one note where instead of playing a major second interval like we do here, we're going to play a minor second on the A string from A to B flat to C. So here we go. From the top, from the higher note, we're going to play down, so it's still the same as Aeolian. There's our change. So we want to play our fourths going up. Whoops. Sorry. So again, so we're just changing at this tritone again as we go from one mode to the next, up and like towards the ceiling, down in pitch. And last one after Phrygian, a fifth away from Phrygian is going to be E Locrian. So we have this here. So now the Locrian, this shape here has a flat second and a flat fifth. E to F and E to B flat. And we see the change here from the perfect fifth between the A and now Locrian we get the diminished sound. And it changed there. So here's a Locrian going down. And going up. And since the change is here, the tritone is here, it's going to be the same. We do our fourths relationship here. And see it there. So that's how it's just one note changing at a time as you change from mode to mode. So that's kind of like maybe interesting as you move across the major scale. But as you're improvising, say you're improvising in the key of E, major. But you're using your pentatonic, so you're not even playing these notes here. If you want to give a Mixolydian feel, and if you want to give a major feel, the only difference is from instead of this note, you play this note. Anyway, that's beyond the scope of what I'm talking about and beyond the scope of my kind of almost understanding, but it gives you the that you can change the emotion that you're using with a single note, and you're really going from mode to mode, but you can leave your hands exactly where they are. And we run through them real quick here to kind of demonstrate in different ways. So we're in E, so forget the diagrams for a second. We're in E, and we're going to play major. Now I'm going to play Mixolydian. Now I'm going to play Dorian. So we just went to that minor third there. Then next I'm going to play Aeolian. The only change is from this note to this note. And now we're going to play a Phrygian mode. Now I'm going to play a Locrian mode on E. And there's Lydian, E Lydian, which is anyway for another time. But that's something else that you can explore also by staying on your same note with a drone, and you can keep cycling through the modes and seeing how the patterns that we've been showing here just change a little bit as you loop through the modes. So which in the 6 that we did, which one did we miss, and why didn't we hit it? a perfect fifth from E, when we finish here with the Locrian here with E, would be a B. And the B is not sorry. The E is not in the strike that, reverse it. The B is not in the F major scale. F major scale is the tritone from F major. So as we're in E Locrian, and we want to go perfect fifth up from E, we leave F major. So it's a tritone of F, and it's not diatonic. So, and that's where we're moving down that way. So that's we get to the B flat Lydian, which is what I was talking about. Sorry for those intermittent slides there. So we can see that the B flat Lydian is, the Lydian mode is special because we're going the other direction on the circle of fifths to get back there. It's still a fifth before we get to the F major. So we're in F major, and we can go down to a fifth below, and we want to go, if we want to do the circle of fifths starting with a B flat, we'll do this again. So B flat Lydian, F major, C major, C Mixolydian, G Dorian, and then let's do then what's next? D Aeolian, and then A Phrygian, and then E Lydian, E Locrian. It sounds kind of like when you go from the E to the B flat Lydian, that's where things change over to a new key, to the key of B. So you're going from B flat Lydian up to B. Or you're going to tritone away from F. So you're going to the next key. So if you see in the circle of fifths there, the B is directly as tritone opposite from F. So anyway, the circle of fifths is beyond the scope of what I wanted to go over. I just want to show how the modes moved, and hopefully you can see that. Is a diagram for an 8-string guitar. I do have an 8-string guitar, but I'm not going to whip it out for this. But you can see the pattern, how the pattern repeats. So if you had a 25-string guitar, you'd see the pattern repeating a lot more plainly. But you can see, you can pause this and study it, or if you have an 8-string guitar, or if you have I use what stuff they use. Anyway, my note software. Link will be in the description. Neck diagrams. Neck diagrams 2 is how I make these diagrams. They're a really, really good program. And now, here's my books. Well, I've got creatures, got cats knocking at the door. So anyway, this material is in, which book is it in? I think it's in my transitioning book. And to tune between fourths and fifths, or I might just discover that in between books. So anyway, the more beginner-oriented book, or the more like mind-shifting book, is the Guitar in Fourth Gears book. The next book is Triad Studies. I'm currently writing a book on pentatonics, and I'll continue to do more in the series. I write for my own benefit and helping my brain, and also hopefully helping you people watching. Thank you for watching this far, and enjoy your day.